Yeah, so that's a shot that I did on Ferdinand. Like I said, it's a promotional marketing shot. So when you get a shot like this, typically you get kicked off by the directors. They kind of give you the direction on it. They tell you what are the main requirements for this project, right? For this shot, number one, it had to be fun and entertaining, right? The other thing is that this middle hedgehog had to knock off Una and Dos, his sibling hedgehogs, off the rafter thing using his butt, right? So that's what they wanted, like fun and entertaining, he knocks them off with his butt, sure, great. So those are the only things I really have to do for them. Any way that creatively I can attain that, it's kind of up to me, right? So the first thing that I do is I go off and do a ton of research. Like I said, this is part of my planning process. Before I even think about touching the computer, I do a lot of research. And I think in my schedule, I usually carve out maybe like 1 or 2 days just doing research. Anything that I can find outside of my own creativity to be inspired by, that's what I go out and grab. And that's a super important thing that I do in my workflow. And again, this is stuff that I don't see when I teach students. Like, they don't really do this kind of thing, right? So I think it's really important to just take the time, find some good stuff out there that already exists that you can kind of bring in and use as inspiration for your own work, right? So I went out and then found this clip. There we go. Yeah, so I saw that and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna animate that because that's awesome. This kid's super adorable and cute, and he's exactly kind of the same shape as Quattro, the hedgehog that I'm animating. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do that. I showed this to my supervisors and directors, and they loved it. They're like, yeah, do that. That's cool. But the main point is I wouldn't have found this if I didn't take the time to like really go out and just search for like really awesome stuff like that already exists. I would not have been able to think of or be able to do myself, right? So I went on and did that, but kind of in addition to this research, I went out and did video reference myself. And if you guys are unfamiliar with this term, video reference is something that we do as animators, where we go out, record ourselves, and perform the acting of the shot that we're animating, right? So for example, if you're doing a walk cycle, you'd go out and shoot yourself doing a walk, right? If you're doing a dialogue shot, you would shoot yourself performing the dialogue. In this case, it's a dancing thing, so I went out and I had to shoot myself dancing, right? So I'm gonna show that to you guys now for some reason. Yeah, so I did that. One tip of video reference is that you're always gonna look dumb doing it. That never really goes away. So if you're kind of camera shy, I recommend getting over that really quickly because you're always gonna be doing like stuff like this in animation. But as like stupid as you look, it's really helpful because number one, it's not just great for pitching ideas to your supervisors and your directors, so they can know what you're planning on doing with your idea phase. But it's really good for breaking down like movement and understanding the mechanics behind your shot. Because as animators, you really have to understand body mechanics, right? And you won't be able to break that down unless you do reference of yourself performing that movement that you can study.